Welcome to another episode of St. Vincent Untold Stories. On this episode, we are going to highlight how the relief efforts are being handled, and we are going to look at the rebuilding of temporary schools, and we give you an update of the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and many more. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell if you wish to see more videos like this one. I tell you, hold on to your seats for this episode. We had several eruptions, we had floods, and we had some lahars. So we all are big people here. We all know that needs are things like food, clothing, shelter, and so forth. We had the volcanic eruptions in which persons had to migrate from the red and orange zone. So tell me something. So many food is being donated to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and there are persons who haven't gotten anything up to this day. Just imagine this. The volcano erupted so long ago, and there are persons who haven't gotten anything, but there are truckers who went up to clear the road who has been paid already. And please bear in mind, don't take my words out of context. I am not saying that the trucker men should not be paid. But firstly, you have to deal with the evacuees who evacuated. They should be the first priority because the money came to help them. Just recently, they were saying that they could not pay workers. And now, they are building a temporary school at Arnersville, the same place that gets flooded out when there is heavy rainfall. You see, we love education. And once it has something to do with education, we will support that movement because we want to see a brighter future for the youths. The allegations are that they are building the temporary buildings because they are refurbishing some of the schools. The buildings would hold up to 500 youths. Before the big man came into office, some community centers were built, and he added on to that. But they also built some learning resource centers. My question is, are those learning resource centers being used in the way that they were built to use? From our observation, we are seeing that wedding receptions are being held in those resource centers. There are community centers and learning resource centers in many districts. Every time you pass, you see locks on the doors. So when the main schools are finished renovating, what would happen to those temporary buildings? Those buildings are being built at a cost of $1.6 million. And you see, this is why we need accountability, because we've seen buildings already being estimated the size of those classrooms for like $5,000. How did it get to $1.6 million? In all honesty, some contractors take different prices than some. But that figure is very hard to understand. It is not wall structure, it is ply. Ply is very expensive, but that figure is way off. A laborer in St. Vincent gets between $50 and $60 per day. And when you work for the big man, sometimes $60 is what shady men get. Between 60 and 80. So you remember when they were constructing the airport, they said that there were some tradesmen collecting $60. Bragsa has their own furniture warehouse, so they don't have to purchase furnitures. So I can't even see how that total reach close to that. Evacuees, if you don't speak up now, this would affect you later on. The monies came to help you out. to build back your homes, to help you in the farms, to help you out with bills that you owe for. Just now, the bank would be calling some of you. Some of your houses would be going in for foreclosure, and you can't even see that. Some of the youths that would be going into those temporary buildings, some of their roofs are leaking because some of them are from the red and orange zones, and their roofs haven't been repaired as yet. Just imagine, there was a time that you could have gone to any park and enjoyed a game of cricket, a game of football, and afternoons you could have run up and down, take a jog, kick some ball or something. But now you have to pay to go in some of these courts and some of these parks. Remember they said that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And all play and no work makes Jack a dull boy too. So if you lock up all the parks, when the youths arrive from the classroom and they can't get to play, what do you think would happen to them? You ever wondered why the crime rate is increasing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? You see, because when the parks are locked up, where can the youths go to find refuge? As they go on the corner side, and then there are some men who influence them and said, look, hold this popo, make we run in our place, grab our food and enjoy ourselves. You see, I understand that if like a company comes to St. Vincent and invest in a hotel, they would want some privacy on the beaches. But don't tell me like places like Oya, they are securing the place, charging monies to go inside, and that is in the Garifuna communities. Check this out for yourself. Places like Sandiby with plenty sporting activities, plenty nightlife when it comes to parties. How often do you hear that persons from those communities are being sent to Dovecat with the use of popo? And in those areas, the parks are not secured. Now, check places like the Glyn area. No park, no nothing, no nightlife, but popo beating off every night. You see, the allegations are that they had a small park up in that area where the guys used to go and play little football and afternoon. But what the bigger heads did, they put some buildings on the park so the youths have nothing to do on afternoon. As I said before, the big man did a lot. He built things like the international airport and so forth. But when it comes to creating jobs, he does not have a plan and he does not have the vision to do that. Just recently, you accepted the fact that St. Vincent is under extreme poverty. Now, you are telling us with all that volcano relief money, you cannot build a factory or something. Sandals is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines now, and we want to thank them. That is a good move. They are going to employ around about 500 persons. But what I'm saying, we need something more than that. This is a population of over 110,000 persons. So I am telling you, if you waste those relief monies, then the entire country would be in problems. Not only the evacuees it would affect, it would also affect the persons from the green zones, and especially public servants who you all said could not be paid before there was an eruption. Have you noticed that Veronica Campbell-Brown retired from international track and field? Even the great Usain Bolt retired as well. That is just to show you that there is a time for everything. There was a time when Maradona was the greatest. Then came the likes of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Mr. Big Man, we appreciate everything that you did. But we think it is time now that you pass on the baton. Look at the Italian big men. Remember first time that when they just came in and had their team, they used to move strong and powerful and so forth. And then they started to do some things like try to create disputes with other sides, and then even members of their team would identify that what they were doing wasn't right and ask them to step down, or if they don't step down, they would have to go the other way. You wanna tell me the big man says he knows everything that is going on and he isn't aware that even some of his members are speaking out on social media about what is going on with the current situations. We have already gotten complaints after complaints in which persons were saying that some persons were giving out food stuff and so forth. And when they went, they were telling them that they wasn't getting because they was not on their sides. But I am saying this. We need to stop putting party over country and put country over party. We need to start helping each other and being our brother's keeper. You see why St. Vincent is so hard and isn't moving forward. We need to change our mindset, our way of doing things. If we can help out somebody. Do you notice that when Untold Stories is giving donations from the donors, we don't want to have you supported as the red side or the yellow side. Once you are in need, we would give it to you. The items were sent for everyone. The persons did not send them to be partial with them. And the items are not ours. So we are not withholding them for ourselves. We are giving them to you. Right now, the volcano is still steaming heavily. And the scientists are making chips at the summit to put down the equipment. They will give an update in due time to say what is going on. Dr. Stinton would be going back this afternoon, and we hope that he gives us an update before he leaves. With that being said, we just want to big up the entire population in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the regional islands, and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us during these times.